Have you ever thought about how your senses interpret the world around you? In this video, we're going to explore the fascinating science of perception and how it shapes our reality. You'll learn about the latest research in neuroscience and psychology, and gain a whole new understanding of how your brain works. Hey, everyone! Welcome to this video on the science of perception. In this video, we'll explore how our senses work together to create our reality, and how the brain interprets the information it receives. By the end of this video, you'll have a whole new understanding of how perception shapes our lives. Part 1. The 5 senses. Let's start with the basics. We all know about the 5 senses: sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell. But did you know that these senses work together to create a single perception? In this section, we'll explore how the brain integrates information from each of the senses to create a complete picture of the world around us. Our sense of sight is perhaps the most important of all the senses. It allows us to perceive the colors, shapes, and movement of objects in our environment. The eyes work together to provide depth perception, and the brain processes visual information in a way that allows us to recognize objects and faces, and even read written words. The visual system is incredibly complex, with many different areas of the brain dedicated to processing different aspects of visual information. Hearing, on the other hand, allows us to perceive sound. Sound waves travel through the air and are picked up by our ears, which convert them into electrical signals that are sent to the brain. The auditory system is responsible for interpreting these signals, allowing us to recognize speech, music, and other sounds. The brain uses information from both ears to locate the source of a sound in space, allowing us to know where sounds are coming from. The sense of touch is also incredibly important. It allows us to perceive textures, temperatures, and pressure. Our skin is covered in specialized nerve endings that respond to different types of stimuli, sending electrical signals to the brain that are interpreted as touch sensations. Touch is also important for our sense of proprioception, which allows us to sense the position and movement of our limbs and body. Taste and smell are closely related senses that work together to allow us to perceive flavors. Our taste buds detect 5 basic tastes: sweet, sour, bitter, salty, and umami. The sense of smell, on the other hand, allows us to detect a vast range of odors, which combine with taste to create our perception of flavor. The olfactory system is closely linked to the limbic system, which is responsible for emotion and memory, which is why smells can trigger powerful memories and emotions. Part 2. Perception and attention. Next, we'll look at the role of attention in perception. Did you know that our brains are constantly filtering out irrelevant information, allowing us to focus on what's important? We'll explore how attention works, and how it can be influenced by our expectations and past experiences. Attention plays a crucial role in our perception by allowing us to selectively focus on certain aspects of our environment while filtering out distractions. Our brains have limited processing capacity, so attention helps us allocate resources to the most relevant and important information. For example, if you're having a conversation in a crowded room, attention helps you tune in to the person you're speaking with and ignore the background noise. Attention can be influenced by our expectations and past experiences. Our brains have learned to prioritize certain stimuli based on their relevance and significance. For instance, if you're expecting a phone call, you may be more attuned to the sound of your phone ringing amidst other background noises. Similarly, if you have a strong emotional attachment to a specific object or person, your attention may naturally gravitate towards them. Selective attention allows us to focus on specific features or objects while disregarding others. This is often demonstrated through experiments like the cocktail party effect, where people can tune in to one conversation while ignoring others. Our brains have the remarkable ability to filter and process information based on our goals and interests. In addition to selective attention, there's also divided attention, which refers to our ability to attend to multiple stimuli simultaneously. However, divided attention has its limits, and our performance may decrease as we attempt to focus on too many things at once. This is why multitasking can be challenging and may lead to reduced efficiency and errors. Attention is not only about focusing on external stimuli. It also involves internal attention, which relates to our thoughts, memories, and emotions. Our minds can wander, and we may find ourselves lost in thoughts or daydreams. Understanding the interplay between external and internal attention provides insights into how our perception is shaped by our mental states and cognitive processes. Part 3. Illusions and Perceptual Errors. Now, let's take a closer look at some of the fascinating illusions and errors that can occur in perception. We'll examine examples like the Muller-Lyer illusion and the Stroop effect, and explain how they shed light on the workings of the brain. Illusions and perceptual errors are intriguing phenomena that provide valuable insights into how our brains interpret and process sensory information. They occur when our perception deviates from the objective reality, highlighting the complex and sometimes flawed nature of our perceptual systems. One famous example is the Muller-Lyer illusion, where two lines with arrow-like ends are presented. Despite the lines being the same length, one appears longer than the other due to the illusion created by the arrowheads. This illusion reveals how our brains perceive depth and distance cues, often relying on contextual information to make judgments about size and length. The Stroop effect is another compelling example of how perception can be influenced by cognitive factors. In this phenomenon, participants are asked to name the color of ink used to write words. When the color word matches the ink color, e.g., red, written in red ink, participants respond more quickly and accurately. However, when there's a mismatch, e.g., red, written in blue ink, response times are slower and more errors occur. This reveals the conflict between automatic reading processes and the effortful task of identifying colors, showcasing how our attention can be biased by pre-existing associations. Other illusions, such as the Ponzo illusion or the Ames room illusion, challenge our perception of depth, size, and shape. They manipulate visual cues to trick our brains into perceiving objects or scenes in distorted ways. These illusions demonstrate that our brains rely on contextual cues and assumptions to make sense of the world, often leading to perceptual biases. Part 4. Perceptual Learning and Plasticity. Finally, we'll look at the concept of perceptual learning and plasticity. This refers to the brain's ability to change and adapt based on experience. We'll explore how our brains can become more attuned to certain stimuli, and how this can be used to improve our perception in areas like music and language. Perceptual learning and plasticity are fascinating aspects of our brain's ability to adapt and change based on experience. They highlight the malleability of our perceptual systems and the potential for improvement and refinement in various domains. Perceptual learning involves the refinement of perceptual abilities through practice and experience. When we repeatedly engage in specific tasks or expose ourselves to particular stimuli, our brain undergoes changes that enhance our perception in those areas. For example, musicians often develop exceptional auditory perception, allowing them to distinguish subtle nuances in pitch, rhythm, and timbre. This improvement is a result of extensive training and the brain's ability to fine-tune its neural connections. Plasticity refers to the brain's capacity to reorganize itself in response to changes in the environment or our experiences. This flexibility allows our perceptual systems to adapt to new situations and challenges. For instance, individuals who have undergone sensory deprivation, such as blindness, may develop enhanced perceptual abilities in other modalities, such as touch or hearing. This adaptive plasticity allows the brain to compensate for the loss of one sensory input by reallocating resources to other senses. Research has also shown that perceptual learning and plasticity can extend to language processing. Individuals who learn a second language later in life often show improvements in their ability to distinguish and perceive sounds specific to that language. This suggests that the brain can adapt its perceptual mechanisms to accommodate the demands of different linguistic systems. Conclusion. So there you have it, the science of perception. We hope you've enjoyed this video and learned something new about how your brain interprets the world around you. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Thanks for watching.